And we are live.
We're live.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our noon hour Facebook Live on Mondays. Today, we are focusing on physical pain. Are you someone who is struggling with aches and pains? Do you kind of ignore it or push it off to the side, or, just it's been with you for so long that you're like, it is what it is? Because I know that I have. How about you, Holly?
Yes, aches and pains can creep up at the darndest times. So welcome. So I'm Holly Pitas of Get Feeling Better. Today is episode 16. And so happy that you can join us today. And so, yes, we are working on aches and pains, and sometimes they can be chronic. Always a challenge when you have a chronic pain. I think one of the more interesting things, though, is that you can have those reoccurring pains that, today's Monday and it's like, I didn't quite finish that project at work, or I just got a bunch of work dumped on me. And, my back is really starting to hurt, or, wow, I'm getting that headache again. Sure enough, sometimes we have a friend or a relative that we talk to and you hang up the phone and it's like, oh my God. I really have a headache. So the emotion code is fantastic for working with that. So happy that you joined us.
Absolutely. And I'm Amber Salenbier of Not Sun-Tied Within, and I'm a certified emotion code and body code practitioner. And same as Holly, she's an emotion code practitioner as well. And for the month of November, we are focusing on physical pain. And physical pain is something that is invisible, but it's something that a lot of us have, or a lot of us share. And, you get up in the morning and you're like, oh, or at the end of the day, things are just achy and painful. And, when you get to the point where none of the lotions and potions and everything else aren't working, maybe it's emotions that are causing it. Maybe it's something that you need to go into and figure out why. Whether it's, past traumas or experiences that you have been through, there's an underlying root cause. And Holly and I dig deep into those root causes and to help you relieve that pain. I know pain is one of my favorite things to work on because there is such an immediate response that I've watched many, many, many clients drop down in pain, whether it's going from a 7 to a 4 or a 7 to a 1 or even a 7 to a 6. There's an immediate instant gratification of watching people drop their pain levels. So welcome, everyone. We are so excited to have you here. Please drop your, where you're coming from and who you are. And if you are dealing with physical pain, we would love for you to volunteer so that we can help you reduce that. So how do they volunteer, Holly?
Well, say hello, give us your name, and in the comments, if you would write yes, and then tell us what kind of pain you're having. If it's neck or shoulder, head, foot, head and shoulders is something that's very common. So tell us where the pain is, and then give us a severity level. So that would be a number from 1 to 10. And that is what's subjective. It's whatever you think it is. And that gives Amber and I a place to start. And so we know if you consider it to be a 10, we will muscle test and see what the muscle testing comes up with. But when it's bothering you a level 10 and we can get it down to a 6 or down to a 2 or down to a 0, which is definitely our goal, then we have a way to track our progress and improvement. And then too, there's a little bit of processing that can happen. So some people will feel immediate relief, which is wonderful and magical, actually. It's pretty amazing when you have something that's been bothering you and then like all of a sudden it's like, wow, it's actually gone. It's amazing. And sometimes that can happen. Sometimes it takes a day or 2 or 3 to actually go away. Sometimes it's kind of like the pendulum effect. And sometimes, you have it, it can maybe even get worse, and then it will come back to the center and you will be relieved of your pain. So that's always our goal.
Absolutely. I know a lot of my clients, we get them down. So, they started an 8 and get them down to a 4. And then, the next day or the next 2 days, sometimes they do go back up. It's never as bad as it is, generally speaking. I mean, not everyone is the same, and sometimes you can have it because as things are releasing, it starts irritating and things start going back to how they were before. And so sometimes that can cause irritation. And just give it to day 3 or 4. Obviously, if something is really wrong, then please visit your physician or your doctor or whoever you're seeing for your health care. But by day 3 or 4, they've come down. And what you do is you drink lots of water and you just allow your body to rest. I've had clients who have had chronic pain, 10 out of 10 for years, decades. And I bring them down to a 7 or an 8, and then they go out and they rake their yard, or they're mowing the lawn, or they don't take it easy the first few days, because if you've been somebody who has had physical pain, you know what it feels like to when you get that relief, that one thing that gives you relief, you just want to do it all. You want to just because you never know when that next step is going to be, as to, well, when is it going to come back? Or I know for living in 20 years of hip pain from domestic violence that it was something that I was always going to have forever. I tried everything you could think of, I've tried. And now I no longer have that pain, which is phenomenal. I'm able to sleep on my right side now. I'm able to run and do things with my kids that were a pipe dream before. So I want to say hi, take a moment to say hi. We've got Brittany and Summer and Anita watching. Summer is coming from Mississauga, and she says, nice hair. Thank you. I actually took the time to do my hair. So,
yeah.
It's a luxury living with a house full of boys and nobody cares that, you need some time to straighten your hair when they just, wash and go, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And so actually, while you are saying hello, I do want to say hello to Sandra Jordan. She's visiting us again. So Sandra, thank you so much for being here. And Sandra and I are going to also work together a little bit later in the week. So that will be good. And then when you were saying hello, we do have to say hello to our special viewers who are Charlie and Joshua. So hi guys.
Yes.
So you are watching probably on the replay, but always need a special hello.
They are in school today. Both of them are in schools. Absolutely. Well, I have Ildiko. Hopefully that's how you pronounce your name, because I am terrible with names. So if I'm pronouncing it poorly, then please correct me. But welcome. She's coming in from Scotland. That's exciting.
Wow.
So if anyone has physical pain today, let us know where in your body are you feeling this physical pain? Is it in your shoulders, in your neck, in your hips, in your lower back? Is it your knee, your ankle? Wherever it is for you that you're feeling that pain, let us know. Give us permission, because I certainly wouldn't come into your house without permission. I'm not going to enter your energy field without permission. And rate it. We like to have ratings so that we can see, you started at an 8 before we started working on you. And then when we get down to the end, we ask that you rate it again. See how you're feeling. Get up and move around and rate it again, so that you can see the difference and the drop yourself. It's not up for us. I mean, we can talk to we're blue in the face, but it's really, showing you how it's all done and how you can feel that relief yourself.
Yes. And actually, Amber, I want to go back to something that you had said before about that hip pain that you thought you were just stuck with until you discovered the emotion code and the body code and started doing a lot of work with yourself and with some other practitioners. And I think there's an interesting quote from Dr. Bradley's book. In case you're not familiar
with the book.
We have the book here, but it's that trapped emotions actually consist of well-defined energies that have a shape and form. And although they are not visible, they are very real. And I think that that's something that is really interesting about the emotion code, and the fact that it actually acknowledges that this pain is real. We're not making it up. And even though it doesn't show up on an X-ray or, something that is testable in a lab, we know it's true and we know it's real. And so when we delve into it a little bit, it does just make sense that, yeah, it is a trapped emotion. You know, we all have those things that we acknowledge that we can't get over. And who knows what that is, you know, something that you just don't like the way somebody says something to you, or they use a certain phrase and you don't like it. Every time you hear it, it makes your blood boil. Or sometimes there's things that bother us that, you know, we don't really recall why it started happening. And so that's you know, both of these are really good examples of how those emotions can get trapped. And it's just this thing about us. We know we're reacting to it, but we can't always explain why. And so that is where Amber's showing us the emotion code chart, and where it is wonderful to be able to determine which emotion is bothering us. And so it doesn't necessarily have to deal with identifying the event at which time it got trapped, but just the fact that this is trapped. And it can be anger, it can be anxiety, it can be indecision, it can be, you know, crying. And, you know, if we've got that feeling trapped inside of us, of course, it's going to kind of fester after a while and continue to bother us. I do think one of the things that is often a really difficult situation to deal with is grief. And I think that throughout our lives, we have events that happen that generate grief in us. And it could be the end of a really good book and you're going to miss the characters and you're like, oh, I'm so sad it's over. It can be something serious, that there was an accident, or you flunked a class, or you got fired from a job, or someone died. Or you can even be working in a field where it's the medical field and you have people that die on you as a regular basis, and that's just part of your job. And so this grief can just sort of hang on, you know, every time they depict grief, it's always like this black cloud hanging over you. Or if you think about Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, when he had his ears, he was always down, and just everything was just sort of overwhelming for him and sad. And for me, that's very much a depiction of what grief can be. And then it just hangs on and it's hard to shake. So working with the emotion code is another great alternative for being able to relieve the long-term effects of it. It's not going to make you not feel sad that someone has passed. So you will still miss them. It's just that you're not going to have the crippling effects of it. So I'm going to refresh here and see how we're doing on our comments.
Well, I've got Brittany who wants right knee. So she says it's about a 4. And Ildiko says behind my eyes and between my shoulder blades. If you could just pick one, whichever one you would like worked on, pick one spot and rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, we can certainly work on you. So I'm going to go ahead and work on Brittany.
Okay.
And so what we do is we use muscle testing, applied kinesiology, to connect to your energy. So Brittany could be in the same room, or she could be halfway across the world, and we're all connected, sort of like how cell phones are connecting, right? It's all frequency. So I connect in using intention that I'm going to connect to Brittany's energy. So behind the eyes, and it's a 7. So if you want to work on that, if you don't have anyone, or.
Okay, so I will work with Brittany, pain behind the eyes, and it's a 7.
No, Ildiko, it's pain behind the eyes, and it's a 7.
Ildiko.
And I'm working with Brittany,
okay.
And she's right knee pain, that's a 4. So I'm going to connect. So my name is Brittany.
Before you connect, Amber.
Yeah.
Can you spell Ildiko's name for me? Amber and I are seeing different groups of comments. And so if you could just spell her name, I just want to make sure I've got it correct.
Ildiko.
Okay, perfect. All right, so Ildiko, I am going to connect with you.
So my name is Brittany. My name is Amber. My name is Brittany. So what we do is we go in and we identify what are the emotions that are causing Brittany to have this knee pain. So first thing I'm going to do is make sure everything is all aligned that I want.
I met her. I see a painting behind her eyes.
Is my shoulders aligned? Is my hips aligned?
Is it a heart wall?
Too far. And then I've identified the emotions that I need to clear, and I set the intention. And I mean, you can use magnets. Your hand is also electromagnetic, and you have this governing meridian that goes from here all the way down to right where you're the middle of your, all the way down to your lower back. And it's your governing meridian, and all of our energy and everything goes through that. So we set the intention to clear the energy.
Column A, is it even? Odd?
Taken for granted.
3, 5.
And then all we do is we find the next one and we clear it. So right now I'm just realigning her body.
Heart wall.
Is her hips and her spine aligned? Is her knees aligned? Her pelvis?
Rail.
Her ankles.
Releasing heart wall of forelobe.
Okay. So Brittany, I've gone ahead and realigned everything. If you want to get up and move around and see how you're feeling, I'll go in and go a little deeper and dig right into that right knee.
Heart wall of trail.
So do we have any trapped emotions? 3, 2, 1, A, B, odd, 1, 3, 1, 2. So the first one that comes up is defensiveness. Trapped emotions are our own emotions. They're ones that we feel. So if you have an event or something, then you're going to feel an emotion. So this one is defensiveness. Has that been cleared? Is there any hidden?
Okay. With this pain,
Guilt.
did we release the heart wall? Did we release the heart wall? Yes.
So have we cleared any hidden emotions? So hidden emotions, sometimes our subconscious likes to hide things. You know, they don't, for whatever reason, I'm not 100% sure as to why they hide emotions, but they're ones that are deeper, that once we cleared away the top layer, then we can find these sub layers and we bring them to the forefront in the attention, and then we can clear them. Are there any absorbed? So absorbed are other people's emotions. So as Holly was saying earlier, you know, you're talking to your girlfriend over the phone and she's having a bad day and she completely offloads. How are you feeling after that phone call? My guess is your energy is probably lessened. And so what we want to do is release other people's emotions so that we're not, our subconscious really doesn't know whether or not they're ours or they're somebody else's, and we take them on. And now you've got somebody else's energy. And we've all felt it. You know, you go into a room and everybody's angry, and you know, all of a sudden you start feeling yourself getting more angry and built up. Yet you were perfectly fine before you walked into that room, and now you're all worked up. So is there, how many absorbed?
To release for her eyes.
Releasing absorbed anger.
Oh, does it have to do with body alignment? Okay, so is it, what are her shoulders in alignment?
Is there any inherited? So inherited emotions are some of my favorite because they are trapped at the moment before conception, and they go all the way down the line. And when we bring that emotion up, kind of like a bubble coming to the surface is generally how it works. If we bring that emotion up to the surface, people can feel that. And your entire family is in the room with you. So usually when I start working with somebody in our initial consultation, I bring one emotion up to the front so that you can feel the shift in energy, so you can see how big these balls of energies are that are inside your energy field.
Okay, so release.
And then when we work with inherited, I give it a moment that your entire family is sitting there in the room with you. Give you a moment to see if you can close your eyes and sit in that energy. Maybe you can feel it, see it, sense it, hear something. We all have different ways of feeling energy. So I've done this enough times that I know that when we bring up an inherited emotion, Their family is in the room.
9, 8,
People can actually feel this.
okay,
So do we have any inherited under 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, A, B, odd, even 2, 4, 1, 2? Frustration on your mom, dad's side. How many generations under 5, 5, 6, 7, 8? 8 generations
her knees into alignment.
on your dad's side of frustration. So again, I'm going to give it a moment. You could just sit and close your eyes, and
Is that in column A?
your family on your dad's side is sitting in the room with you.
Column A, is it even? Is it odd? It's even.
And then we're going to go ahead
2, 1, 2, 3.
and clear that frustration.
So is it hers? Is it someone else's?
Now, usually we don't do this on, I don't do this on live camera, but we can identify exactly when she felt that frustration. Well, not the frustration, because that was inherited, but, you know, pick an emotion. We can identify exactly when it happened. The age, the event, things will start coming to your conscious mind when we pull up an emotion. So a lot of the times I'll pull up an emotion and say it was, anger at, 25, and you'll get this memory of, you getting into an argument with somebody and you just feeling that anger. And you're like, oh yeah, I remember that happening. Or, I remember feeling grief at, this age because something had happened, lost a job, divorce, breakup, the death of someone. And it's pretty accurate when we pull up that age, usually within a 2-year span. So does she have any vibrational resonance?
Pain in her eyes. What was it before? Was it
grief?
What is it now?
Stubbornness.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
So vibrational resonance is something that you're feeling all the time. You may not be aware of it, but it's a vibration that is constantly ringing.
There's still more.
Is there any psychic trauma, which is 2 emotions trapped at the same time, and it now creates a new frequency? Is there any prenatal, which is an emotion that while you were in the womb of your mother that you have absorbed from someone else, and it's an emotion that you've carried for your entire life? So now I'm going to something called the trauma energy chart, and we pulled up a trapped emotion of trapped. Absorb discomfort. Discard energy of panic. Does she have a heart wall around this knee? So there's a heart wall. So a heart wall is an energetic wall that is blocking. So it could be a wall that is keeping this pain in place. So no matter what you try, no matter what you do, it keeps it in place. And we build them subconsciously. It's not a conscious decision. Consciously, we want the stuff to go away, but subconsciously, it's protecting you from something. So how many emotions are in this heart wall?
All right, while you are working, Amber, I will pop in here. So Ildiko, I hope that you are feeling better. And so we did release several emotions, and I did release a heart wall for you, and then also did some body alignment for you. And so I'm hoping that you can process. I don't know if you can feel anything right away. If you do, let us know in the comments, and otherwise be sure to pop back next week and let us know how you're doing. So again, we are here on Mondays, and so we're here each Monday, and so at noon Eastern time. So do come back and join us, either Knots Untied Within or Get Feeling Better. And so Amber is very technologically savvy. So we go live on Zoom, and then she hooks us into each of our Facebook pages. And so then do come back and visit our Facebook pages, because we are both updating our information and offering some new programs. Right now I have partnered with a hypnotist for a special weight loss program. And I also work with her for a special smoking stopping program. So I have some information on the weight loss posted on my Get Feeling Better pages. And then the smoking is going to be posted soon, but certainly available for that. And then I know Amber also goes live additionally on Wednesday nights, and possibly more, because Amber's such a go-getter, and she loves what she does, and she's really good at it. And so she is doing a lot more with reaching out to people. So she'll be able to talk about that a little bit.
I go live Wednesday evenings at 7:00. We have a party on my Facebook page. So if you're available on Wednesdays, this week we are clearing, because it was just Halloween, we are clearing all of the cravings that we have had with all this Halloween candy and chips and chocolate. I remember last year, my son was born on Halloween, so we go all out. So there's lots of candy. And I couldn't stay out of the treat bag. You have that child tax where you like take half of the bag because you're like, well, these are all my favorite candies. And this year, I mean, it was crazy because of COVID and everything. People were being extra generous in our neighborhood, and they were giving out like full-blown candy bars. Like, I don't know how many full-size candy bars my kids got. And so they'd be like, well, here, Mom, here's your favorite Kit Kat bar, your favorite bag of chips. And I'm like, I'm not really interested in it, to be honest, which is such a complete 180-degree turn from last year. Because I've cleared all of the foods of all of my favorite foods, I'm like, I said to my husband, I'll take one. And I was meaning I'll take the entire full-size chocolate bar. And we, had a disagreement as to he should only give me a little bit because he knows that I'm not going to like it. And my stubbornness was like, no, I'm going to eat that and enjoy it. And I ate the little bite-sized ones, and it was terrible. So I have graciously got rid of all of my favorite foods of chocolate bars and everything like that. So I want to help everyone do the same. So come join on Wednesdays at 7. So Brittany, I'm done with your knee. So let me know how you are feeling. We started with you at a 4. So I'm interested. Get up, move around, move that energy, get it flowing. And I'm interested to see where you're at as well. She says, thanks. My knee is feeling different now. Summer says, love you both, guys. Great session. No candy here at all. Awesome. If anyone else is watching would like a session on, releasing that pain, reducing it, we would love to help you. Absolutely. We're here for not very much longer.
Yeah, we've only got about a minute left, I can see, but we are doing pain for the entire month. So do come back or bring your friends, because everybody seems to have some sort of issue that is bothersome. And sometimes it's even just a little thing. Like sometimes you think, it's not like you're limping or something from leg or knee pain. But sometimes it's always just that little twinge, it's like, whenever I'm just getting in and out of the car is the only time that I feel it. And so even little things like that, we can work with you and hopefully just erase it for you. So that should be great. And so if you want to come back next week, we can help you then. And otherwise, hoping that you have an excellent week, do check in on Wednesday night and visit with Amber, and come and check out my Get Feeling Better page. Love to get to know you better.
Absolutely. So just to end, Brittany said that her pain went from a 4 to a 2, which is amazing. Ildiko, let us know how your pain went. You started up really high and at a 7, and let us know how the pain behind your eyes is doing, and see if it's dropped at all. So thank you everyone for joining us today. We hope that you have an amazing week. Again, I'll be live on Wednesday at 7 p.m. If not, then we will see you next Monday for some more pain sessions. We look forward to it. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you.